is important right here, okay? This next thing I'm going to talk about is very, very important. It's immune system related. Lymphatic system can get toxic and clogged up, yes. But your lymphocytes are critical to understand. But if you're really, really sick and if you're really sick and in a weakened state, you got to be careful, you know, and you're swelling. There's information you can learn about that too on Medical Meeting Podcast. Check out my swelling episode right there. All right, let's get this going here. All right, let's make a little bit of a lymphatic system here. A little bit of a lymphatic system, you guys. Okay? All right. Got a lymphatic system. Okay? An incredible artist at hand. There's an artist in person here. So I want to talk about this right here. So as you got fluid in your lymphatic system, keep in mind that you got lymphocytes here. Lymphocytes, they need to be fed. Your lymphocytes that are in your lymphatic system. Those lymphocytes devour pathogens in your lymphatic system. Keep that in mind right there. If you don't address the liver and your lymphatic system is constantly dirty and clogged, you're keeping your immune system weakened. Okay? So yes, I'm not against lymphatic drainage, but what needs to be done is the core root cause of your lymphatic problems, which is your liver being stagnant, sluggish, filled with toxins and poisons. That's one thing. And the other aspect of the immune system, which is your lymphocytes. No one's talking about lymphocytes. They're not talking about that part of your immune system, which is critical, right? You still have to do maintenance and you still have to feed your lymphocytes. If you don't feed them and they're weak, they can't work for you and they can't catch pathogens and they can't catch poisons. And if you're playing with your lymphatic system too much and it's being manipulated and purged and squeezed, your lymphocytes are having a hard time trying to find balance in that. They're being pushed around and they need their natural habitat to be slightly undisturbed in certain areas. So when people go through the roof crazy with lymphatic drainage, they're manipulating the habitat of the lymphocyte, and that can weaken the lymphatic immune system. So there's a place where we can get massage and drainage, lymphatic drainage, gentle drainage, but there's also a fine line between if we do extremism with the lymphatic system and we weaken the lymphatic system's lymphocyte campground. And once we weaken that, because we're squeezing the crap out of our lymphatic system all the time, and we're trying to push fluid and push fluid and push fluid so we can, A, look better or feel better in a bikini or whatever it is, if we're literally waterboarding and literally crushing down on our lymphatic vessels and trying to squeeze every last bit of fluid out of them, we just manipulated our lymphocytes and our immune cells, which weakens our immune system. So we have to be careful with how much manipulation we do on our lymphatic system so we can protect our lymphocytes. What I'm trying to say is your lymphatic system, your lymph system has the lymphocytes, big part of your immune system, But if we're beating the crap out of our lymphatic system just so we can push fluid around, we are manipulating and pushing lymphocytes around, and they take the hit and they get damaged. So every time we get a lymphatic draining session, like a really deep one, our lymphocytes need time to recover and replenish, and maybe even need time to restore, because we can hinder our lymphocytes. But I do still like lymphatic drainage, especially if you're sedentary and you can't move around. I want people to still get it if they can. I still want them to get it. But the fluid is there to protect the lymphocyte too. Keep that in mind. So if you're really toxic and you're trying to move toxins through your lymphatic fluid, keep in mind that when we're moving those toxins around, we're pushing our lymphocytes into those toxins manually. We're manipulating our lymphatic system's immune system, so we have to be careful to some degree. So what I tell people, I have a lot of people ask me, like, what do you think about lymphatic massage? I say it's great. Just don't go extremism where you're doing it every day. You're not giving your lymphocytes a chance to recover, rebuild, reestablish themselves. And don't go so crazy where you have machines on you and you're trying to use the machines, the vibrating machines, where you're trying to literally get every little scrap of juice out of some of your lymphatic system. We retain fluid in our lymphatic system to dilute the toxins. So here people are actually trying to push our fluid out, but toxins still stay behind and sludge still stays behind. And then what they're doing is they're trying to manually push out all the fluid, but toxins are still staying behind. So keep in mind that we do want some fluid left in our lymphatic system, because I see people using a lot of tools and a lot of lymphatic machinery, and I'm like, oh dear Lord, you're squeezing fluid out, but a lot of sludge and toxins are staying behind without fluid anymore in there to actually protect you and your immune system. And you're also manipulating and pushing lymphatic lymphocyte cells out when you need them in there to protect you from pathogens and so forth. The lymphocytes die quickly if it's too toxic in there, but they die quickly if we're also manipulating them and grinding them into nothing, because we're using so much manipulation with the lymphatic drainage styles and techniques now. It's not just what it used to be. People are getting like obsessed, and they're using machines and rollers, and they're trying to squeeze every last bit of juice out of people. I'm sure that's not probably what you're doing. You might just be getting a normal lymphatic drainage session. I think that's great. I think it's supportive, but we also have to work on the liver. And we have to protect, and we have to at least feed our lymphocytes. That's why I talk about the maintenance stuff with the Propolis Pure and the Cat's Claw and the Total Immune, to feed our